How about teams like these who can really run their offense through their bigs?
BA, over the years, one of the things I've heard from coaches quite often is how effective a three-tool big man can be. When you can drive it, pass it, shoot it, score it, do all the things they can, it changes the geometry of the floor.
Let's check out Minnesota's starting lineup. Conley and Ant are the 1 and the 2. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's McDaniels in at the 3. And now the T-Wolves on the break. And he jams it home with authority.
There's a reason Mike Conley's teammates love playing with him. If you're open, I promise he'll find you.
Right, the pass to Beauchamp. The 3 is up. And there's Wright. That one's good. And the assist from Hart.
Well, that possession to me highlights the importance of creating for your teammates.
Edwards for 3. And it's New York with a rebound. And Doris, you talk about the bounciest big men in the association. Mitchell Robinson's on the short list.
Come on now, this guy is a game changer as a lob threat and rim protector. He's grown up so much in terms of avoiding foul trouble, and he's putting in the work on the offensive end. Mitchell Robinson is a big-time player.
Just 2 to shoot. Hart from long range. And it's Gobert with a rebound. And now the T-Wolves on the break. Outside McDaniels. Nails the wide-open jumper. McDaniels got 5 points.
We know Julius Randle can score, but that scoring ability will be set up by that kind of play. What a pretty pass from the big man.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Edwards can't hit.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
And Anunoby for 3. Nails it from 3.
Nice job by OG Anunoby to be aggressive from distance.
Edwards with it. Hard covering. And Edwards slams it in.
Oh, Anthony Edwards thinks this game is a dunk contest. Go ahead, young sir. What a finish.
Kicks it out to Anunoby. And timeout is called by Tom Thibodeau. He wants to make sure everybody's on the same page. Doris, one of the most physical guards in the NBA, Anthony Edwards.
If you want to talk about a prototypical NBA body, it's Anthony Edwards. He's got size, strength, athleticism, but beyond that, he's so skilled. 3-level scorer, versatile on the defensive end, fearless when it matters. Anthony Edwards may be the next face of the league.
Here's Edwards. After the basket by New York on the other end. Randle outside. Here's the 3. And it's New York with a rebound. Now it's Hart. Pass to Beauchamp. Right with a screen on Edwards. And it's Beauchamp missing. For Minnesota, they've gone 3 of 6 from the floor. Edwards with it. Now Wright defending. Back to Edwards. Lets the 3 fly. Nice. Gets his second bucket. He's 2 for 4 now.
Boy, what a good-looking stroke. Ready on the catch, Anthony Edwards. That jumper is nice.
To the middle. Here's Robinson. It's Wright on the wing. On the take. Ooh, he's looking comfortable now. 3 for 3.
Well, DeLon Wright taking advantage of that handle and that slithery ability to get through traffic. What a pretty drive.
Oh, man, exploding to the rim.
Yeah, makes the simple play. Robinson finds Anunoby. Hart with a screen on McDaniels. Anunoby for 3. Hits the trifecta. Anunoby's got 6 points. And boy, has this been a competitive matchup thus far.
These teams have swapped leads 7 times already. We're not even in the second half.
McDaniels, that's good.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
Here's Conley. Randle outside.
New York foul. Beauchamp. First personal foul. First team foul.
There's 47 seconds left in the first quarter. Edwards, a pass to Randle. Fires from deep. It's hauled in by Robinson. New York has gone 3 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first.
Boy, how about the awareness from the big man? We think of Mr. Robinson as a shot blocker. What a pretty pass.
Down low. Here's Hart. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Adding insult to injury with the dunk off the steal.
Nice to see a good play on D. That led to some fireworks.
Let's see if that serves as a momentum builder. What a great sequence for this group.
There's a screen. And an Obi for 3. Buries it from 3. He's got 9.
Oh, he's really showing off now. The threes keep falling with no signs of slowing down.
Looking to end the run. Oh, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. No shortage of scoring here. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter of action so far. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Knicks.
Yeah, their early focus on outside scoring has paid off. They're finding plenty of points from three-point land.
I think the other thing they've done a great job of is making their presence felt inside, converting tons of paint opportunities.
On the court for the Timberwolves, second quarter underway. We've got Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo out there with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Garza in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Well, the Timberwolves, no doubt, a team to be reckoned with. Coach Chris Finch said, we come in every single night and compete. No matter what the circumstances are, we expect to win. We root for each other, so I feel like we have all the makings of a tough team.
And they have reason to be confident, Allie. Thank you. Well, Grant, one thing about this Knicks team, they have a clear identity.
Yeah, they have the mentality of their city, New York City, playing the game with passion and in-your-face attitude. And, of course, these Knicks leave it all out on the floor.
Now here's Bridges. No points yet. 4 on the clock. Achua finds Bridges. Off the mark there with a 3. Timberwolves trail by 5. Outside, DiVincenzo. Reid sets a screen. DiVincenzo can't hit. New York has gone 0 for 2 from outside in the second quarter. And the basket by Bridges.
Well, quick transition has Bridges positioned perfectly, puts the nice finish on the transition opportunity.
Ooh, took him no time at all to get that one. Reid's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. Now here's McBride. The D's right on him. Here's Achua, outside Tucker. Pass to Towns. Takes a 3. That shot off.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Well, certainly not the best defensive effort, but this guy can't make them pay for their laziness.
Now here's Achua. Now Bridges, covered by Alexander Walker. Here's the pick. 3-pointer. Hauled in by DiVincenzo. Timberwolves trail by 5. Going inside. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second. Pass to Garza. Back to DiVincenzo. From the arc. It's rebounded by New York. Doris, you look at the shooting of Karl Anthony Towns. A 7-footer. He's as good as it gets.
He is, B.A. He has been verging on the 50, 40, 90 efficiency type numbers in recent years. He is right there with Dirk Nowitzki when you talk about the sweetest shooting big men of all time.
Now here's Alexander Walker. Launches it. And it's New York with a rebound. Towns has got his 4th rebound in this one. It's Bridges on the wing. Outside Achua. Towns passes to McBride. And Dante DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
These calls can be so difficult for officials to make.
Here's McBride. They lead by 8. Biggest lead of the game. Achua for 3. Rebound by Shannon. Minnesota's gone 2 of 6 from distance here in the second quarter. And Mikal Bridges picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
.114 left in the first half. DiVincenzo to pass to Alexander Walker. Let's go with a three. Towns with a rebound. Towns has got his 5th rebound in this one. Achua into the lane. Achua with the dunk.
A bit undersized. His hops make him a legit small ball 4.
Timberwolves trail by 10. Alexander Walker with it. And McBride picks him up defensively. DiVincenzo pass to Garza. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
That pass was about the location, puts it perfectly into the hands of his teammate.
Achua finds Tucker. Achua with a screen. There's the three. Reed with the rebound. For Minnesota, they've gotten only 3 of 9 attempts to fall in the second. Shannon. And he dunks it down.
So sick, the vertical ability.
That was flat out awesome. He has that effortless knack for getting to the hoop. Now here's Tucker. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Towns for 3. The offensive rebound. Oh, and Reed with a block. Here's the break. Here's Shannon. Oh, no good on the last second attempt there. That'll do it for the first half. New York. All right, Allie, thanks for that. We will see everyone right back after this break, ready for the second half. And if you're just joining us, we played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Boy, without question, OG Anunoby displaying all his skills today.
They've leaned on him to provide a lot of offense, and that's how he likes it.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
Mitchell Robinson is out there with Josh Hart. Oh, big finish!
Oh, did you see that?
Boy, defense has no answer for Anthony Edwards' athleticism. What a dunk.
McDaniels passes to Edwards. Back to Daniels. Right side Edwards. Getting it done inside. Edwards. Grant, we're starting to see more players throwing alley-oops to themselves off the backboard. Did you ever do that?
In practice, maybe, but although I had some leaping ability early on, I never had the audacity to do it in a real game.
Doris, OG Anunoby helped the Raptors so much on their title run in 2019.
Yeah, the hard part is he was never able to suit up for the NBA Finals. To get through the season and then have an injury at that point, heartbreaking for a player. But consider, he's the first UK-born player to win an NBA title, and that cannot be taken away.
Knicks leading by 4. Pass to Wright. That's tipped. The dive for the ball. Out of bounds. It'll be Timberwolves ball. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Brian, Anthony Edwards, his disposition just brightens a locker room. Coach Chris Finch said he's an absolute joy to coach. Always in a great mood with a great smile. It doesn't matter if he plays well or he doesn't. Every day he has the same approach and the same attitude.
And he wants to be great, Allie. There's no doubt about that. Gobert with a screen on Wright. And that one's good from Conley.
Well, inside, Mike Conley has got to be savvy, and he is in that instance.
Outside Anunoby. Pass to Hart. Robinson with it. Anunoby passes to Wright. 6 on the shot clock. And he goes up strong with a one-handed jam.
And you have to love it. The floor general taking things into his own hands.
Just the aggression they're looking for, man.
Boy, and not just the aggression, the ability to get to the rim, but how about the finish with intention? Oh,
A savage reverse jam. That takes great body control.
No question. He was making a statement right there, man. The dunk with a foul on top of it. So strong.
What you appreciate is OG Anunoby's detailed and patient offensive approach, simply taking what the defense gives him.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far, and it really feels like the chemistry of this Timberwolves team has taken a step forward.
And BA, you know this. Winning always enhances that energy and chemistry. But beyond that, this is a roster full of players that have had individual success, and now they're hungry and thirsty for team success, because that's the true measure.
Now here's Randall. He's scoreless. The kick out to Conley. This one for 3. Sends it home from three-point land.
You have got to be aware of where Mike Conley is. He's so capable outside the arc.
Hart from long range hits a three-pointer. Hart's got 5.
Man, this is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
Conley. That one falls.
Since the break, it feels like an entirely new game.
What energy we're seeing. Something has lit a fire under both of these teams.
Now here's Anunoby. 14 points for him. Hart passes to Wright. There's a minute 47 left in the third quarter.
Oh, excellent way to pad the lead.
Yeah, especially when it's your one throwing it down like that.
That's got to be a little bit deflating to the defense, guys. Getting kicked when you're down. My goodness.
McDaniels, that's good. 11 points in the game.
Keeping pace here. That's an excellent move inside.
Anunoby against McDaniels. Outside Hart. Pass to Beauchamp. Back to Hart. New York needs to get one up quick. The timer ticks. And here's Wright from the arc. The rebound by the Timberwolves. And he lobs it up. Stolen by Anunoby. All alone on the break. 44 seconds left in the third quarter. Randall against Hart. Kicks it out to Anunoby. From downtown, gets the 3-ball to go. Anunoby's got 8 points here in the quarter.
And this is how he shines. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
And right now, Greg, he is doing a great job delivering for this team. Productive and efficient.
That shot off the mark. Good work defensively by Robinson.
It would be smart to hold for the final shot.
Well, that's great execution if you can do that, because it takes any chance at momentum away from your opponent.
And this kind of six slam is just one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now, BA.
You know, there's an edge the way they play and a confidence they're not afraid to show. Here's DiVincenzo. Here's Alexander Walker. And that's not going to go. And so it's OG Anunoby making things happen for New York. With 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store. New York leading by 8. And a look now at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth quarter. Dante DiVincenzo out. And coach doesn't like the call at all. He's opting to use his challenge. He wants the officials to look at the replay.
And even with the coach's
Under NBA rules, 2 minutes are allowed to review the play.
even after the video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls. But at least we have the option to take a second look. so the officials can be sure they get it right. And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think Coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still peeved.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Chris Finch was going over with his team. They were encouraging their team to run, look for breaks. Coach wants to see them getting into transition more. Back to you, Brian.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. Now here's Bridges. Here's Achua, and he drives in. Achua with the dunk.
And they're putting together another quality possession. They're taking control of this game.
You know, a few more possessions like that one, and they can put the finishing touches on this game. They just have to have effective trips like that one.
I think he's gone completely dry. Nothing is hitting.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And they call an illegal screen here.
One of the trickier plays to judge, but it would be hard to argue against the call.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
Now here's McBride. To the wing, right side. They set a pick. Pass to Bridges. The three is up. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Reed's got 4 rebounds now. Here's Garza. And it's rebounded by Karl Anthony Towns. Towns has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Here's Tucker. It's rebounded by Minnesota. Reed's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Shannon. He's guarded by Bridges. Here's DiVincenzo. Pass to Shannon. The 3-ball. Pure from 3-point range.
Well, that's a case where your teammates are showing trust in you, and he comes through with flying colors.
Achua into the lane. It's Bridges on the wing. Kicks it out, Towns. Outside McBride. Pass to Tucker. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own. Tucker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
55-42.
Here's DiVincenzo. An easy 2 on the layup.
Well, we see a lot of emphasis on 3-point shooting nowadays, but you'll take that look right there any night of the week.
McBride attacking. Now Tucker. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Tucker's got 5 points in the quarter.
You know, guys, that's the selfless attitude of Mikal Bridges, so willing to give it up to an open guy. Well, the defense clearly was not interested in guarding him from downtown. They're very fortunate he missed.
Achua passes to Bridges. Achua with a screen. Bridges misses.
He needs to look to try to drive inside and get going. That outside shot is simply not there.
You kind of wonder where his head's at. The shot selection hasn't been there, and of course that one was just crazy.
And Dante DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's his 3rd foul so far. And some changes here for New York. Hart's checked in for Achua. Anunoby comes in for Tucker. And Wright subbed in for McBride. Now here's Towns. Towns, a screen on McDaniels. Anunoby passes to Towns. Here's Wright. And the sweet roll that time on the rim. That one falls. And the Knicks lead by 15.
It looks like it'll be a big win for them here. Time to just cruise to the end of the game and chalk up the victory for the Knicks.
It was stop and go for them along the way, but they finally seized full control of this game.
BA, the scoreboard definitely doesn't tell the whole story. They were able to pull things together when things got tough, and of course, they closed strong.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for OG Anunoby.
They simply can't stop him right now. This guy playing with passion and focus.
Now here's Bridges. Here's Anunoby. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
And you know they're extremely disappointed right now. I mean, this one getting away from them.
Well, they definitely have some things to work out, and you'd love to see them finish this game the right way.
Here we go. Kicks it out, Towns.
Timberwolves foul. Rudy Gobert. First personal foul. Third team foul.
And that one falls for Towns.
Anthony Towns. At the line, 2 shots.
And that's good as he hits both shots.
Well, this trip to the line should seal the deal. Amazing job.
So it's the Knicks taking care of business in this one. This one was a fun one to watch. They were...
of course, Greg, strong and rebounding. Should be a battle out there.
Nothing easy in the paint, Kevin. Both front courts will be fighting for every possession when they miss.
And now the opening lineup for Boston. The post pair, Tatum and Porzingis. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. And it's Craig in at the 3 slot. And so it's the Celtics getting on the board first. Beauchamp passes to Wright. Wright sets a screen for Anunoby. That's tipped and stolen by White. Pass to Craig. Back to Tatum. White against Holiday. Outside, Porzingis, 6 on the shot clock. Here's Tatum. Robinson pulls it in.
Give the defender credit. Willing to challenge the shot. Lots of other guys just let them score there.
And pushing it up, here's Boston. And the dunk by Tatum.
Want to create a good look? Yeah, just get the ball to Tatum out in space.
Here's Wright. Outside for Robinson. Robinson sets a screen for Anunoby. Launches it. Jason Tatum grabs the board. For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Richard, so many things about Drew Holiday's game we love, but what impresses you most about his game?
Well, I know it's an easy answer, but it's his defense. It's hard to be a feared defender in the modern NBA, Kevin. But Holiday is such a pest at all times on that end of the floor.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
Now here's Porzingis, and they call an illegal screen here.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Look, guys get away with this all the time, but on this occasion, he got caught.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Tom Thibodeau had a few minutes to share. He knows how much Jason Tatum can impact the game. Coach told me Tatum has improved the way he reads the game, how he responds to a defense. He's faster. That means we have to be crisp with how we rotate and send a double. Not a lot of wiggle room on the floor when Tatum is processing information. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, David. Right, the pass to Beauchamp. He nails it, and we're tied up.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Here's White. Misses the 3. Here's Anunoby. The shot comes out. Boston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here's Tatum. Nifty move. Good work there as it goes. Tatum's got 6.
What muscle on that finish. It's hard trying to prevent Tatum from converting.
In the corner, right with it. There's a good screen. Over White. Rebounded by the Celtics. And RJ, the combination of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown winning a title together. That's something else.
There was some small talk going around about breaking them up. Good thing for the Celtic front office, they kept them low. In their first 7 seasons as a duo, they have 5 trips to the conference finals. That is a ridiculous run.
And the Celtics with possession here, following the score by New York. Craig kicks to Porzingis. Holiday against Wright. And Holiday throws it down.
And Holiday's nimbleness gets him to the hoop on that one. His athletic ability is off the charts.
And Anunoby, here we go.
Yeah, a nice, strong finish on the inside.
But Greg, that's what he does. He's got the dunker mentality. The kick out to Tatum. White setting the pick for Tatum. It's White on the wing. Down low. Goes straight to the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's on Mitchell Robinson.
Really unacceptable letting Porzingis get that kind of positioning. Once he's established, it's over.
Hart with a screen on Howland. Here's Anunoby. Sinks the triple. He's got 5.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game. And the basket by Tatum.
This is what great scorers do. Tatum rises to the three-point challenge.
Here's Wright. Jason Tatum grabs the board. Celtics leading by 5. Robinson with the block. Here's Anunoby going inside. Basket good. Anunoby's got 7. Just 4 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Tatum. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. What a performance for Jason Tatum. He has been the story so far. And we welcome you back to our special Noche Latina broadcast as the second quarter getting going right now. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Boston.
I've really been impressed with how aggressive they've been inside, looking to capitalize from the paint whenever they can.
And I also like how they've trusted one another with the rock, creating shots by keeping the ball moving.
Achua is out there with Towns. Then it's P.J. Tucker. Then it's Mikal Bridges. And it's McBride in at the 1. They're the group New York will start the second with. Here's Towns after the basket by Boston.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Driving in, outside Horford. And stolen by Achua. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla has talked about the 2 J's, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. He says they've been lumped together because they play a similar position, but they don't have to be similar. They've got to be able to express who they are and not constantly be compared to each other. They're not the same. Kevin?
Back, David, remember a couple years ago, there was some thought that maybe one would be traded. I'm glad they're still together.
Good instincts to read the path and get in a position to pick it off.
Bridges shot. Good.
Look at that catch and shoot ability from Bridges. Not all forwards have that skill.
Out to the right wing. Here's Pritchard, defended by McBride. That shot wide open.
He just makes it look so easy on offense. Like, who takes pleasure in torturing defenses? He does.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Analytics or the eye test? The optics or the numbers in front, Greg? When you're judging the performance of a player, what kind of criteria do you use?
Well, an MVP candidate recently said, my eye test tells me this guy's a terrible defender, but the analytics tell me he's a great defender. I'm confused, and I often feel the same way.
Now, here's Brown. Still without a basket. There's the pick. Horford from outside. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
They need that floor spacing ability from Horford. It's big for them when he's knocking down triples.
The shot's good from Achua.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
Towns with the steal. Fast break. Here they come. Here's Tucker. It's good. This game is all even.
And the all-around game of Towns can score it, rebound it, as well as pass the ball. So skilled at his position.
Now here's Brown. Pass to Horford. Here's Pritchard. Clock at 6. Shot from 12. To the wing on the left. Here's Hauser, guarded by Tucker. Back to Brown. Shoots over Bridges. Brown, no good. The Knicks have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Here's Towns. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And you see Big Cat that has the size and coordination. Hard to bump him out of his rhythm.
Here's Here's Pritchard, defended by McBride. Looking to end the run. A kick out to Brown. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
It'll be a jump ball.
Tillman passes to Pritchard. 4 on the shot clock. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field. 1:25 left in the first half. Bridges outside. Count that one.
And so determined. Bridges finds a way to get the shot up and in. Now to the line.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Knicks.
So far, they've shown a terrific work ethic in transition, pushing the pace whenever possible and getting out ahead of the defense to score.
And you can't turn it over against this team. That's a recipe for disaster, and we're seeing the results of that.
1:03 left in the first half. Pass to Tucker. Fires for 3. And Boston with the rebound. Here's Pritchard. He has 6. Here's Horford. Here's Hauser. They set the screen. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And you can feel the jolt of energy that he sent through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this.
And so it's New York with it after the basket by Boston. Drills it from outside.
Nice ball movement there. That's how you break down the defense.
Picked by Horford. Brown the pass to Pritchard. Pass to Tillman. Now here's Horford. Shoots the 3. Mikal Bridges has been the guy making things happen for the New York Knicks. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. One of the stories here, Jason Tatum getting it done today.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
The question now is, will the defense keep letting him punish them inside? Or did Coach have some new ideas for them?
Starting off the second half, here's Joe Mazzulla's 5. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. The post pair. Tatum and Porzingis. And it's Craig in at the small forward. Here's Beauchamp. Craig defending. Anunoby, good.
And what an assured player. Anunoby believes in his ability to shoot the ball off the catch.
Here's Holiday. Rebounded by Beauchamp. The Knicks leading by 5. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. They set the pick. Anunoby against Craig. Shot clock at 5. The kick out to Anunoby. One-on-one fast break. Tatum with it. Hard covering. Tatum dishes to White. Holiday up top. Shoots it. Rebounded by Beauchamp.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Yeah, it's a great look for him. One they'll try and manufacture again. Those are the shots you want him to take.
And the Knicks hit again from deep.
And far from the best shot, but all that matters is the end result. Somehow he sinks it.
To the inside. Here's Porzingis. A shake. Whistle blows. It's going to be a travel.
And just a little too lax with that possession, and it cost them.
And if they want to come back in this game, look, they got to clean up those mistakes.
Over the last few seasons, we've seen the resurgence of Porzingis. And, Richard, it has been fun to watch.
Kevin, he's been effective on both sides of the ball. He's always been a good player, but his recent fit has really improved his play.
Hart with a screen on Holiday. Here's Anunoby. Pass to Beauchamp. Lets it go from deep, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Right against Holiday, and he converts the layup. Holiday's got his second basket of the game.
A really smart player. Holiday can find the spaces inside and exploit them for points.
Beauchamp passes to Wright. On the wing, Anunoby, guarded by Holiday. Pass to Beauchamp, on the clock. Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup. Beauchamp's got the lead up to 8 now for the Knicks. Tatum against Anunoby. Throws it down, JT!
The efficiency from Tatum on the offensive end is terrific, not letting any scoring chances pass him by.
Right for 3. And Robinson throws it down.
Nothing soft about the putback there.
And why chance it, right? Take the dunk if you've got it.
And that's his MOB physical, get in position for the putback and throw it down. The defense got to know that's what he's looking to do.
So New York ends up going with the new group. And Tom Thibodeau decides to call timeout. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. So Boston ends up going with the new group. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Pritchard passes to Brown, and the shot goes down. Brown's got his first points in this one.
A very athletic play by Brown, getting the ball inside and working his way to a high percentage shot.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
You're not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And so here is New York. 6-point game. McBride out to Bridges. It's stolen by Brown.
That's what we call intelligent defense. Just put himself in a position to make a play on that kick out.
Horford with it. Now guarded by Towns. Here's Pritchard. He has 6. Clock at 4. And Bridges with the block.
Got to be careful shooting with Bridges roaming nearby because he's good at coming up with rejections.
The Knicks leading by 6. Now McBride hasn't made one yet.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Pass to Horford. Here's Tillman. Three-pointer on the way. It's hauled in by Achua. We've got 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. Bridges, no one around him. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Celtics trail by 8. Gets it to go. That one good from Tillman.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Tucker the pass to Achua. Back to Tucker. And so it's the New York Knicks with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance. And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. The Celtics shooting it very well tonight, around 57%. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Celtics making a switch here. Brown's checked in. DeJuan Wright is out there with Anunoby. Then it's Josh Hart. Then there's Towns. And it's Beauchamp in at the 3 spot. That's the 5 for New York right now. Inside, Tatum automatic.
This is how confident Tatum is. Knows he can score inside whenever he wants.
And Wright kicks to Towns. Anunoby with the screen for Towns. Pass to Hart. The kick out to Anunoby. Just 5 on the clock. Takes it inside. And Anunoby slams it in.
And the penetrating ability of Anunoby. Confident when it comes to attacking the defense.
Tatum down low. He's guarded by Anunoby. Back to Porzingis. Outside Tatum. Shoots over Anunoby. It'll go, and the New York lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Tatum.
And that's probably his most dangerous weapon. Tatum just has a smooth jumper.
Poke loose. Porzingis with the steal. Pass to Brown. And there's a whistle. That goes on Mikal Bridges. That is his first foul of the game.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
New York on D. And stolen by Wright. Bridges left side. Richard, one thing you don't see. And yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And this is the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review. And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
And you see this so much more nowadays in the NBA. Teams putting a larger emphasis on jacking up threes.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
A wide open look here for Wright. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Brown against Anunoby. Brown dishes to Tatum. Out to White. Pass to Porzingis. 6 to shoot. Here's Tatum. Stolen by Anunoby. Pushing it up. Bridges with it. Picked up by Brown. The open shot. Right. And it falls over the rim and in. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Knicks.
Great heads-up defensive play tonight, creating offensive opportunities for themselves by forcing deflection.
And let's not forget.
And here we go. A coach's challenge has been initiated.
This is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review. And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Holiday, the pass to Brown. Holiday lets the 3 fly. Hits the 3-point bomb. Holiday's got a couple of 3-pointers now in the 4th for the Celtics. And it's Wright with the ball for the New York Knicks. They lead by 1. Towns kicks to Wright. And here is Hart. Out to Bridges. And Anunoby, a screen on Brown. Here's Bridges. Money!
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
What a huge play coming through when it matters most.
To the middle. Singis passes to Brown. 36 seconds left in the game. Good! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1. You can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, I think you want to milk your possession.
And Derek White picks up the foul. That's his first foul. 23 seconds left in the 4th.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
If you want to be great, you have to have that killer instinct.
Here's Tatum. Money!
And if anybody didn't know, Jason Tatum has that killer instinct just coming out in a big way.
And they go to the intentional foul.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker.
2 shots.
And he does get the second one. And that makes it a 3-point lead.
And it's all about the 3 right here.
We'll see what they draw up. Three-pointer is a must.
And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to maybe even get the steal, but I agree. He's still got a good outcome.
So a close game sees New York take this one. What a show they put on here at home.
cream of the crop.
Well, a lot of people would say that this is a guard-oriented league. I think it's a league of all the positions, but tonight, certainly, whoever can win that guard battle will probably go home with the W.
Certainly the headliner tonight. And let's take a look at Boston's starting lineup. Holiday at the 1 with White at the 2. At small and power forward, it's Tatum and Porzingis. And it's Queta in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. DiVincenzo, pass to Edwards. Here's Gobert. Lays it up and banks it in.
Outstanding job converting in close. Gobert understands how to execute around the rim.
Here's Tatum. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
Nice way to start the game. That's where you'd like to get your shots from.
And down it goes. 2 points.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
And Stan, while Edwards has pushed back, it hasn't stopped others from comparing him to his airness, Michael Jordan.
And that talk is more about how his game reminds one of MJ and less about greatness. Edwards' career is just getting started.
The kick out to Edwards. And out of bounds, Boston will have it. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
I had a chance to catch up with Minnesota's head coach. I asked him what makes Kristaps Porzingis such a great player. He said, look at him. He's over 7 feet. He's just a huge guy. Kristaps has serious skill on offense, and defensively, that size can really be a factor. He's a two-way problem. It'll be interesting to see how they play him tonight.
As always, Allie, we thank you. Tatum looking it over. Randall pulls down the board. The Timberwolves have gone just 2 for 4 from the floor. McDaniels, a screen on Tatum. Here's Edwards. McDaniels from long range. Porzingis grabs the board. Boston on offense. White with a screen on DiVincenzo. A shot by Holiday, no good. Here's Randall. The kick out to Edwards. Back to Randall. DiVincenzo on the wing. Ooh, once again, off the mark by Minnesota. White with it. DiVincenzo picks him up. White, the pass to Holiday. And here's Porzingis. And Jaden McDaniels picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Here's Holiday, and out of bounds. Minnesota will have it. Here's Randall. And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
Here's Queta. Porzingis for 3. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
Few bigs stretch the floor like Porzingis. He can be just deadly from the arc.
Edwards a screen on Porzingis. The kick out to Edwards to win the cold spell. Tatum pulls it in.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
Porzingis finds Holiday. They kick it out to Porzingis. Puts it up. Gets rebounded by Minnesota.
Those are precisely the looks this team is trying to create.
Yeah, quality offense will serve you well in the long run. It can't settle for bad shots.
Now here's Edwards. Outside, DiVincenzo. Just 5 on the clock. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
Pounding it inside early and often, setting a physical tone.
Minnesota shooting their first free throw of the game. Boston has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Back to Tatum. 1:03 left in the opening quarter. Oh, Tatum slams it home.
And so much power out of Tatum. Look at the elevation.
And it's Randall with the jam.
He's just an aggressive finisher there inside.
Hey, when you got bounce like that, you feel like you can take on anybody. Now here's Porzingis. Porzingis with a screen on McDaniels. A nice shot by Tatum.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Outside, DiVincenzo. Randall, a screen on Holiday. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Wow, this is how explosive Edwards can be. He finishes with such force at the rim.
Holiday passes to Tatum. The baseline J is on the way. That one falls. Nice feed that time from Holiday. Tatum's got 11.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
Out to DiVincenzo. McDaniels, a screen on Holiday. Puts up a deep three. No good on the buzzer beater. And so it's Jason Tatum making highlights for Boston. And getting it going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Boston.
Well, yeah, early on, the mid-range jumpers have been an important part of their attack. They're going old school.
They've also been quick to set up their teammates, wasting no time making the extra pass for the open look.
We've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, also Mike Conley out there, and it's Shannon in at the 3. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. And Coach, how about Naz Reid, the 2024 Sixth Man of the Year award winner?
Yeah, Brian, sort of unique. We often associate that award with shooting guards, but although he's a big, Reid is more than capable of putting up big numbers, including from long distance. A phenomenal floor general. Conley is gifted at getting it to his uncovered teammates.
Here's Brown. Banked it in off the glass.
Well, it doesn't get any easier than this. They'll take these shots every time.
Reid sets a screen. Alexander-Walker with it. Picked up by Craig. Brown with the steal. He goes up. Oh, and a dunk by Brown.
Oh, save that for the dunk contest. That flush was so extra.
Whether or not this game is close, he's the same guy, focused on finishing firm at the rim. Here's Pritchard, following the score by Minnesota. Stolen by Conley. The teardrop, and he sinks the layup. Conley's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Great control by Conley in the float game. Gave it just enough.
Pritchard to pass to Brown. The 3 gets rebounded by Minnesota. And they're dialed in offensively.
Sure are. Staying in attack mode and at the same time playing under control.
Pass to Shannon. Outside Reid. Now here's Alexander-Walker. Back to Reid. Shot clock at 6. Nice D from Brown. Boston's gone 0 for 3 from deep to begin the second. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Brian, it's great hearing Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla talk shop. He said everybody tries to break basketball up into offense and defense, but it's one game. Your spacing, decision-making, and shot selection set up your defense. That transition happens so fast, so the game is constantly changing. It's all connected, Brian.
No question. Thanks, Allie. Good stuff there. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Wow, that type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark. They double-team Brown. Pass to Craig. Outside, Brown. And, Coach, it seems there's a move to cut out some of the cheap fouls in the game. This notion of, if you wouldn't call it on the playground, why do you call it in a game? You like to see where it's going?
Yeah, look, there's some times where I think we'd get a better game if the players do what they did in pickup games, Brian, and just called their own fouls. A lot of these cheap fouls would cease to exist. I think there's just got to be a better recognition from referees on what really impacts a play and what doesn't.
Now here's Alexander Walker. Still no points. The kick out to Conley. Wing shot on the way, and it's good. Off the back of the rim and in. And the Timberwolves lead by 6. Out to Horford. Pass to Hauser. It's Brown on the wing, covered by Alexander Walker. They grab their own miss. Out to Horford. Here's Pritchard. Three-pointer. Yes! Great play by Horford to set him up. Pritchard's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Oh, he picked him clean. Craig on the wing. There's 47 seconds left to play in the first half of basketball. Stolen by Conley. Here's Shannon. He has 7. Pass to Garza for 3. Connects from downtown.
The defense gave him a little space, and he took advantage.
Brown with it. Picked up by Reed. Brown passes to Horford. Here's Pritchard. Fires the 3. Garza grabs the board. And here's Reed. Pass to Shannon. There's the triple. The shot by Garza, no good. No luck on that one. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 6-point lead at the close of the quarter. And they push the tempo in this one, getting out in transition and making the defense pay. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard. And you know, Jason Tatum, he's been really making it happen, guys.
The numbers say it all. He spent the first half playing efficient ball.
Yeah, it's not like he's getting everything at the rim. He's playing smart and just taking what the defense gives him.
On the court right now for the Celtics. The tandem on the perimeter, White and Tatum. Then there's Drew Holiday. Then it's Kristaps Porzingis. And it's Queta in at center, filling out the middle.
Oh, Randall put some extra on that slam, entertaining the fans and the broadcasters. And you have to love it. The floor general taking things into his own hands.
Just the aggression they're looking for, man.
Well, it's always a big plus when you have a point guard that can attack the rim like that, put so much pressure on the defense.
Defensive Player of the Year 4 times over, Stan. Rudy Gobert tied for the record.
Yeah, Brian, alongside Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace, and Gobert's capable of getting another one too, assuming his countryman Victor Wembanyama doesn't start taking the reins.
Randall against Porzingis. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by McDaniels.
Yeah, what a disconnect. Sloppy play like that is something they can expect to come up in the film session.
Now Tatum, 11 points in the game. Pass to Porzingis. Back to Tatum. Outside Porzingis. And the ball out of play. Timberwolves will have it. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Here's Randall. Out to DiVincenzo. Randall, a screen on White. DiVincenzo, the pass to Randall. Misses the 3.
I can't believe he missed that 3. Regardless, that's not a shot the defense should be giving him.
Pass to Queta. Now here's Tatum. McDaniels covering. Look at Tatum using his length.
You're calling Tatum a capable scorer would be an understatement. He is an elite offensive talent.
DiVincenzo with it. Porzingis picks him up defensively. Here's Randall. And he banks in the layup. Randall's got 6 points.
In a tight game, they wanted to make sure of that possession.
Holiday taking his time here. Drops in the layup for 2.
Yeah, in the paint, Holiday's agility makes him tough to contain. He just needs a little space to go to work.
Here's McDaniels. Edwards, a pass to DiVincenzo. To the inside, Gobert. Rudy, a monster inside.
Punching it inside, attacking the heart of that defense. I love it.
The drive by Tatum. They kick it out to Porzingis. Outside Tatum. McDaniels with some nice D.
And we talk about the importance of protecting the rim. Right there, outstanding defense.
For 3, DiVincenzo. That's in. Coming off an assist from Randall. And now a 7-point Minnesota lead.
Yeah, never a bad idea to have Randall with the ball. Just a great passing forward.
Oh, got that one up quick. Tatum's got 5 points now this quarter.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
And Edwards slams it in.
Hey, good luck stopping Edwards when he puts his head down and attacks the basket.
Tatum with it. He's picked up by Edwards. The kick out to White. Puts up a 3. Three-pointer goes up. Three-pointer goes down for White.
That's a fantastic feed right there. Kicking it out for the good look. Plays like this really help team chemistry.
Here's DiVincenzo. Outside for Randall. Fires for 3. Kept alive by Minnesota. Randall, a screen on Holiday. Here's Edwards. Outside for Randall. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Randall on the screen. Offensive rebound. Goes up again. Pass to Edwards. From deep. Edwards from way deep.
Look, if Edwards is hitting that shot, there's not much you can do defensively to stop it.
Holiday passes to Porzingis. 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Got it. Good job in the low post. Holiday's got 8. Porzingis against Randall. Here he goes. Boston with a rebound. Outside Tatum. And no good. Trying to get that one to fall. Points coming in bunches as we wrap up the... And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'll tell you what, this was a no-brainer tonight. Take a look at the precision on this feed. Couldn't place it any better.
Yeah, that's high-level playmaking. He makes it look easy, but it's not.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Mike Conley out there with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Then there's Naz Reid, and it's Garza in at the 5 down low. So that's the Timberwolves 5. So it's Boston now. After the Timberwolves picking up a basket a moment ago.
Making sure of it with the two-hand slam, B.A.
Yeah, I don't blame him. With the score this tight, you cannot take a chance here. With his first shot attempt. The shot misses.
And that's one he wants back, just wide open, but not able to connect that time.
Pritchard, the pass to Craig. Horford, a screen on Reed. The 3 from Craig. Goes back up. Horford gets it done inside.
The value of a big man with Horford's quickness can't be overstated. He takes full advantage of the rebound opportunity.
Craig against Reed, and there's the screen. Pass to Garza. Back to Reed. Lets it go from deep. Jaylen Brown with a rebound.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
To tie it up. Pritchard, no good.
And you know they were praying for that one to go down.
Yeah, they really wanted that bucket to go. You can't get discouraged, though.
And here's Reed, defended by Craig. Boy, that foul looked intentional. Not exactly what you'd expect here.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't make sense, given the situation.
Got a line change here for Boston. Now here's Edwards. Outside, Alexander Walker. Back to Edwards. Outside, McDaniels. 4-3. Porzingis grabs the board. Boston trailing. And Tatum flying in for the fast break delivery.
That's good hustle. Tatum beating several guys up the floor, putting himself in a position to contribute.
For three, DiVincenzo sinks it from distance. And the Timberwolves lead by 3.
That's exactly the kind of shooting you need down the stretch to win games.
And Dante DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game. Horford, he's checked in for Boston. Tatum against McDaniels. It's good. Tatum's got 20 points.
And sometimes you forget how long Tatum is, and he's terrific at using this to his advantage inside.
Here's Alexander Walker, and he goes in for the dunk.
Oh, what ferocity on the throwdown. I just love when he goes up with purpose.
Where was the D right there? The effort lacking big time.
And with the score as close as it is, these are the opportunities you truly can't allow.
Here's Gobert. After the basket by Boston. Boston pulls it in. Porzingis has got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Tatum. The kick out to White. To take the lead. And it's blocked by Edwards.
Well, I love whenever Edwards is disengaged defensively. Excellent job coming up with the block.
Coming down the stretch. We'll see if someone can capture the lead and hold it.
Yeah, that's been an issue. 5 lead exchanges tonight.
Now here's Tatum. Pass to Horford. From behind the arc. Tatum can't hit.
Well, the defense catches a break there. You expect him to make those.
Now here's Alexander Walker. Outside Edwards. There's a screen. Alexander Walker with it. 4 on the clock. From deep. Gets the 3 to fall. Alexander Walker's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Now here's Tatum. Back to Porzingis. Oh, look out! Porzingis!
There is absolutely no fear in his eyes. He loves the moment.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Alexander Walker. That 3's off the mark.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Porzingis sets a screen. Here's Tatum. Oh, Tatum with a throwdown.
And this guy is made for these moments. Tatum, the big-time shot.
Outside, Alexander Walker. Gobert with a screen on Holiday. Outside, DiVincenzo. From downtown. Oh, my! What a shot! 7 seconds left to play in the 4th quarter. Here's Tatum. And so it's Minnesota who scrapes by with a win. All right, Alec, thank you.
And so off the tip, it's Minnesota. So a look at our starters for the Knicks. DeJuan Wright is out there with Anunoby. Then it's Robinson. Then it's Josh Hart. And it's Beauchamp in at the 3 spot. You know, Brent, Josh Hart has been a contributor at the many stops in his NBA career.
And sometimes you have to wait to find your home, Kevin. That's been the case for Josh, but he has always contributed to winning. And now he's locked into this role where he is flourishing. This guy has all the tools to go out there and do little things every night that help your team be in a position to win games. Well, sometimes it's like a patient that's struggling to breathe. You just got to keep the play alive, and Robinson able to do that there.
And so Anunoby will bring it up for the Knicks. Robinson passes to Anunoby. Pass to Beauchamp. Anunoby, a screen on McDaniel. Offensive rebound, Robinson. And it's Robinson with the jam.
And that's a strength of Mitchell Robinson's game, a force in the paint.
And stolen by Wright. Into the lane and finished off by Wright.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
And the gamble paying off.
Out to Edwards. Randall, a screen on Anunoby. Edwards passes to Gobert. 5 on the clock. Now McDaniels drills the three-pointer.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Anunoby. Pass to Beauchamp. New York moving the ball around. Back to Wright. Anunoby outside. And good as it just snugs right down through the net. The Timberwolves have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them. But not last year as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you got to look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But, boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future. Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad. Yeah, better than giving up the layup. You want to go in there and use the hard foul. They did it there. That's aggressive attitude defensively.
Robinson finds Hart. Anunoby against McDaniel. Right outside. From deep. Connects from three-point range. Wright's got 7. Timberwolves trail by 7. Edwards a screen on Wright. And there's the drive. Outside Edwards. Outside for Randall. Anunoby against Edwards. No one near Randall as he lets it go. A 3 off the mark. New York leading by 7. On the wing, Anunoby. McDaniels defending. Hart wide open. He fires. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Edwards with the screen for McDaniel. Has to Gobert. Randall against Anunoby. Randall kicks to DiVincenzo. For 3. The offensive rebound. And the foul called on OG Anunoby. That's his first foul.
First 2 foul.
Edwards looking it over. Driving to the basket. Gobert the pass to Randall. 4 on the clock. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And here's Edwards from the arc. It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
Clock's ticking, but Edwards able to deliver, not allowing the shot clock to throw him off his game.
Here's Wright. Pass to Beauchamp. Here's the screen. Anunoby kicks to Hart. The kick out to Anunoby. Puts up a three. Trains it from beyond the arc. 5 points in the game. And here's Edwards from the arc. And so it's the New York Knicks bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for New York.
And they've set the tone from the jump. They're looking to pound it inside and score in the paint.
Well, not only that, but you love how unselfish they've been to start this game. That's going to get all the guys in a great flow and feeling good. So moving that ball around and scoring off assists, it's a nice way to play.
Here are the five New York has to start here in the second. Mikal Bridges out there with Miles McBride. Then there's Achua. Then there's Towns. And it's Tucker in at the small forward. And so here is New York following the three by Minnesota. Towns for three. It's hauled in by Shannon.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Conley surveying the D. Pass to Garza. And here's Reed, defended by Towns. Alexander Walker with the ball. There's the screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shannon. And again, Minnesota with the triple. Greg, you've been a part of some great contending teams over the years, but what's it like being on a team at the bottom of the standings with not a lot of hope for the regular season?
Well, Kevin, no one likes losing, but it can certainly take a toll. But it can also allow you to play more freely when you know you're bad and you're not having to deal with the pressure of expectations.
Here's Garza after New York gets the three, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting two. Minnesota shooting their initial free throws of the game right here, and he makes the first. And so he makes both from the line. We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. On the wing, Bridges. Still yet to score. Tucker dishes to Towns. Bridges passes to Towns, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Knicks lead by 4.
And I'll tell you, offense comes really easy to Big Cat.
Conley with it. Bridges covering. Conley against Bridges. Here's Alexander Walker from outside off the mark. New York leading by 4, and even 3-on-3 break. Now here's Tucker. He's covered closely. Pass to Achua. The dunk by Achua.
This can make it so much easier for your teammate when you throw that lead pass that gets to him right on the money, whether that's on the run or in the shooting pocket.
Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Here's Alexander Walker. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Bridges deciding where to go with it. Pass to Achua. Back to Bridges. With some arc. Stolen by Michael Conley. And it's Alexander Walker in the corner. The Timberwolves working the ball around him. No good from outside. Here's Garza, and there's a whistle. That goes on Mikal Bridges. That is his first foul of the game. Reed the pass to Garza. The tray. Traps in the tray. Garza's got 5 points so far.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation.
McBride with the ball. Defended by Alexander Walker. For 3, Bridges. Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from range.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout.
Here's Shannon, defended by McBride. Shots good by Shannon. New York leading by 5. Pass to Achua. A dunk by Achua.
And that dunk reverberated throughout this entire building.
It sure did. Up high and down hard on the windmill flood. Here's Shannon. Wow, through the contact. And now, yep, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
At the line for your Timberwolves, Shannon, taking 3 shots. The player will be reviewed under NBA rules. Teams are allowed to review the judges.
To the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
New York leading by 6. There's the triple. Garza pulls it in. Over to the wing. Here's Shannon. And the wide open shot from Reed. And so it's New York with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. We've got more in store for you right after this. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle, and it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard. That's Chris Finch's 5 as we get into the second half. Right outside. Pass to Robinson. It's Hart on the wing. Lets the 3 fly. Cranes the 3, and yes, he'll go to the line for one more. Julius Randle picks one up for New York. They have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line. That one misses for Hart.
It's so crucial for Hart to get to the line, establish some confidence. He's solid from there. I think it sometimes gets his perimeter game going.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Well, just ripping through right there as he finds the open spot and gets right through there. High basketball IQ play.
Here's Anunoby following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Just 5 to shoot. Launches a 3. Outside for Robinson. On the wing, Anunoby. McDaniels defending. Offensive rebound. Pass to Hart. Back to Robinson. Beauchamp passes to Wright. Shoots over DiVincenzo. And again, it's New York. Timberwolves trail by 11. Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, thank you very much. Jaden McDaniels has become an X factor for the Wolves. Mike Conley says, we know what he does defensively, but the offense that he can bring for us balances our unit. It's much needed. Guys tend not to think of him as an offensive player, but he does have that in his game. Kevin?
But I love the Reference to an X factor. He definitely is that. All right, David, thank you. Minnesota's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. DiVincenzo with it. He's picked up by Anunoby. Edwards kicks to Gobert. Out to Edwards. Shot clock at 6. And the wide open shot from DiVincenzo. Hands it from downtown. DiVincenzo's got 5 now.
Well, you want to chase him off the three-point line. DiVincenzo able to settle in that time.
Here's Hart. Pass to Beauchamp. Now Anunoby. Hart with a screen on McDaniel. Here's Anunoby. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Timberwolves trail by 8. A steal. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. And again, New York turns it over. And it's a completely new lineup for Minnesota. A different look for New York. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Conley, the pass to Garza. Back to Conley. Pass to Garza. A 3-ball. The shot's good from Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker's got his second basket.
That's one of the best three-point shooters. You got to try to scramble the Jets right here and get that guy off the sweet spot.
Towns for 3. And the Knicks miss again. Minnesota's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. To the left side wing. Conley finds Alexander Walker. Basket counts.
The adjustments they've made offensively, they're putting guys in a position now to succeed.
Yeah, possession's just way more efficient, I think, here tonight. Taking smarter, better shots, moving the ball around. That's helped them get back in the ballgame.
And so here is New York following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Just 4 to shoot. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
That might not be the shot they want him taking, even with the D backing off.
And that one is good.
Beautiful job closing the gap here. Let's see if they can sustain this run.
Well, they've shown both effort and will to get back into this one, but can they finish this one off? Can't let up now.
And Tom Thibodeau decides to call timeout. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. New York's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Pass to Achua. Trying to end the drought. Drills it from outside. Achua's got 8.
You're kind of like playing in the rec league. Little to no defense on that possession. And the easiest three-pointer you can imagine.
Alexander Walker with the ball. Outside Conley. The Timberwolves working the ball around him. Reed gets the bucket.
And Conley is just so unselfish. He's very willing to give the ball up if it means setting up a teammate.
Towns in the corner. Whoops, they pick off the pass. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Here's Shannon. Here's Garza. He gets it up. No good on the last second attempt there. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game so far. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
The passing for the team becoming contagious, this time involving the big.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. And on the floor for New York here in the fourth. They've got Achua. Mikal Bridges out there with Miles McBride. Then it's P.J. Tucker. And it's Towns. And at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And it's the Knicks with the ball. Following the 3 by Minnesota. McBride passes to Towns. Back to McBride. Towns finds Tucker. Tucker a screen. Clock at 6. Bridges. It's hauled in by Shannon. Minnesota in the lead. Alexander Walker on the wing. And it's off from three-point range. And so it's Towns with it. He brings it up for the Knicks. A dunk by Achua.
Tucker, great job reading the floor and finding a way to set up a ready shooter.
Alexander Walker passes to Shannon. It's rebounded by New York. And here's Tucker. Pass to Bridges. McBride with the ball. And the three off target. Here's Alexander Walker. Guarded by Tucker. Reed misses.
Well, the D really getting away with one there. No one on him. And that's going to be good 9 out of 10 times.
McBride passes to Bridges. Takes the three. And McBride gets it to go. And now it's a three-point New York lead.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Alexander Walker with the ball. Now guarded by Towns. Alexander Walker passes to Reed. And the rejection by Towns. And that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. So both teams making some changes here. Here's Alexander Walker. Just 3 to shoot. Over Bridges. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Electric. Bridges getting the fans on their feet with that dunk.
Timberwolves trail by 5. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Goes up. And then Anunoby.
And right now, they're just focused on putting together good possession.
That's exactly how they got the lead. They ended up having multiple possessions in a row with good quality shots, knocked them down, and the game is fully in their control.
Here is Edwards. OG Anunoby making his last shot. Pass to Alexander Walker. Here's McDaniels. Robinson with the block.
Such good instincts from Robinson there to throw that one away.
From the arc. They grabbed their own miss. Anunoby outside. Now here's Wright. Trying his luck from deep. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
Yeah, once again, he's getting it rolling. His confidence is building. Makes that shot almost impossible to stop.
Edwards finds DiVincenzo, and they come right back with their own three-pointer.
And with that three ball, he puts a halt to the 12-point run by the Knicks.
Robinson passes to Anunoby. Robinson sets a screen for Anunoby. The kick out to Wright. Shoots the three. The slam dunk by Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson is one of the best finishers that you have down low in the NBA.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He's very aware of the timing here and the significance of getting things squared away with his team. DiVincenzo passes to Gobert. Alexander Walker on the wing. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
That's one of the best three-point shooters. You got to try to scramble the Jets right here and get that guy off the sweet spot.
And it's Jaden McDaniels with the foul. That's his first foul. There's 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Anunoby kicks to Hart. 5 to shoot. Anunoby is screen on Edwards. Hart knocks down the three ball. And the Knicks lead by 9.
Saw the opportunity to put this away, and you could see the killer instinct take over.
Yeah, up until that point, a competitive game, but once they broke through that barrier, it was all them. Complete control.
The shot by McDaniels, no good. Edwards against Hart. It's tipped. So it's New York picking up the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead.
Teams that are elite when it comes to rebounding, Doris.
You know, there was a point at which, BA, it felt like rebounding was almost, especially on the offensive end, de-emphasized. Now you're getting back to a point where understanding dominating the defensive backboards. It means finishing your possession defensively and offensively creating more opportunity. It's an important aspect on both ends.
And now the opening lineup for New York. They've got DeLon Wright. Josh Hart is out there with Karl Anthony Towns. Then it's OG Anunoby, and it's Beauchamp in at the 3.
And put it on a platter. Holiday serving it up for his teammate.
Here's Wright, following the bucket by Boston. Wright with a screen on Holiday. And it's Beauchamp missing. And so Holiday will bring it up for the Celtics. And here's Brown for 3. Can't hit that one. Holiday against Hart. They set the pick. Outside Anunoby. And the call will be against Jason Tatum. That's his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
First quarter, just over a minute played. Right outside. And a miss there on the triple. Of course, it's hard to believe the Knicks title drought has gone on for over 50 years now.
Oh, that fan base is just dying for an opportunity to win the championship. And here's the thing, BA, what I love about that fan base, through all the years where the Knicks struggled, on any given night, that building is as electric as any in the league.
Doris, even as he gets up there in age, Drew Holiday is still an elite defender.
Brian, it's really remarkable how valuable a piece he is. They call him the Swiss Army knife because he is one of those rare individuals that can guard all 5 positions. He understands schemes. He's willing to mix things up. Drew Holiday is elite, period.
So it's Boston now. After the basket by New York.
I tell you, this guy is capable of some amazing finishes. Jason Tatum, my goodness.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Tatum. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Joe Mazzulla, and he said when you watch film on Karl Anthony Towns, his size is impressive, but when you're actually standing next to him, he looks a whole lot bigger. And he knows how to use that size on the blocks and on the perimeter, which makes him an especially tough cover. Brian?
Thank you for that, Allie. Now here's Porzingis. Three-pointer, Holiday. Karl Anthony Towns comes up with a rebound. And Anunoby for 3. Holiday grabs the miss. Boston has gone 0 for 2 from outside. Tatum finds Porzingis. Nice move. And that's 2 points on the layup.
That's what you call using your size in the painted area. Kristaps Porzingis, easy work right there.
Launches a 3. And Anunoby gets a 3.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
And Brown has got the ball here for the Celtics. Trailing by 2. It's Brown on the wing. And the shot is good on the assist by Tatum.
Jaylen Brown with the immediate answer from three-point territory. Yes, sir.
Towns down low. Defended by Porzingis. Pass to Hart. Clock at 6. New York needs to get one up quick. The timer ticks. And again, New York with the triple.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at him.
And you would expect nothing.
Oh!
Well, the increasing strength of Jason Tatum is making it harder to knock him off his path. That is nice.
Inside. And stolen by Brown. Towns passes to Wright. Driving to the basket. Here's Beauchamp. There's a minute 12 left in the first quarter here. To the paint. Again, the Knicks. Good for 2 more.
DeLon Wright proving that he is an excellent decision maker on the offensive end. Teammate open, let me find him.
They kick it out to Porzingis. Nails it from beyond the arc. Porzingis has got 5. These teams just feeling each other out.
Yeah, I love the spirit out there. Already 6 lead exchanges.
Hart from long range knocks down the triple.
What a terrific play by just a tremendous all-around player. This guy makes it look easy.
And here's Brown for 3. And the Celtics another 3.
That three-point shooting sets up every aspect of Jaylen Brown's game. What a pretty shot.
And the foul called on Kristaps Porzingis. That's his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
29 seconds left in the opening quarter. Kicks it out to Anunoby. Five to shoot. Back to Hart. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Give him 8 points now.
Well, OG Anunoby is going to continue to develop his game, and that pass, that was pretty.
Brown finds Tatum. And Brown, the bucket on the assist from Tatum.
And you like the balance here, not just falling in love with the 3-ball.
It's been all about Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics. 8 points in the quarter, showing how effective. And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for Boston.
They've done a great job facilitating so far. So moving the rock and finding the open man, just great selfless basketball.
I think the other thing they've done a great job of is making their presence felt inside, converting tons of paint opportunities.
Pritchard and White at the 1 and the 2. Al Horford out there with Torrey Craig. And it's Hauser in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. White against Bridges. The 3-ball. White can't hit.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
Horford with a steal. Puts up a 3. White can't hit. Knicks trail by 4. Here's Achua. Nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
Well, you get exactly what you want right there. Clean look, right at the cup, nicely done.
And of course, Boston winning 8 consecutive titles from 1959 to 1966. Doris, you think we'll ever see a streak like that again?
BA, I think that's almost impossible in this day and age. With free agency, with more salary cap restrictions, it's just hard to win 2 in a row these days, let alone 8. My goodness.
Here's Tucker. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. And it's all knotted up.
Listen, we know this isn't the most prolific scorer, but Tucker can burn you if you give him too much room to operate.
And Mikal Bridges picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
White on the wing. He's guarded by Bridges. White coming through.
Another lead change. Give these teams credit. They're really fighting it out.
Neither team willing to give an inch, and neither able to seize the momentum. This has been a fascinating one to watch.
Offensive board. Back to McBride. Pass to Tucker. 6 on the shot clock. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him keep it.
And he'll take a trip to the line for 2. Clearly got fouled on that shot. Well, Grant, with players getting bigger and more athletic, do you support moving the restricted area out?
Yeah, B.A., I would. We've seen a lot of injuries when defenders slide underneath elevated players on the drive. So cutting down that risk makes a lot of sense.
Achua for 3. And can't get it to go. Now 1 of 2. Boston leading by 4. White with it. And Bridges picks him up defensively. White. Good. White's got 6 points in the quarter.
And once more this half, they find a way to get great position inside.
And the call will be against Derek White. That's his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Robinson finds Tucker. Back to Achua. Pass to Bridges. Achua with a screen on White. Bridges. Outside McBride. Takes a three. Here's Achua. No luck. They battled on the glass, but they couldn't knock it down. Back to White. And Mikal Bridges picks up the foul. That'll be a second foul of the game.
Second personal foul. Third team foul.
There's a minute 47 left in the half. White for three. And it's New York with a rebound. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Hey, Brian, a key concept preached by Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla and reiterated by Jaylen Brown, who says it's reading the game, realizing fast, but playing slow. We're the more talented team, he said. We have to be the smarter team as well. And when we do that, we're going to be tough to beat. Brian?
Well, they certainly have been, Allie. Thanks for that. He drops it from range.
Great work collapsing the defense, then kicking it out.
Craig passes to Pritchard. Back to Craig. Lets it go from deep. The rebound by Bridges. Knicks trail by 3. Fires for 3. And again, New York with the triple.
What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
To the middle. The 3 from Craig. It's deflected. And it's going to be out of bounds. Boston will have another go. 46 seconds left in the second quarter. White with it, and Bridges picks him up defensively. Back to White. Shot clock at 5. The rebound by Bridges. New York has gone 6 for 12 from deep so far in this game. That gives them the lead.
Well, Mitchell Robinson plays such a critical role for them on the interior. If he can consistently make these shots, what a weapon he is.
Drops in the 3. Pritchard's got 6. Well, it's certainly been a roller coaster ride.
You do me one, I'll do you one better. It feels like we have a lead change every few possessions.
McBride attacking. Out to Bridges. Shoots over White. No good. Would have counted had it gone. And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Boston out in front, up by 1. We've got more in store for you right after this.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court. And get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drum roll. They're thinking about the shot.
Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. Wow, it's been quite a game for Jaylen Brown.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
So on the floor for New York, they've got Josh Hart. DeLon Wright is out there with OG Anunoby. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns, and it's Beauchamp in at the small forward position. Hart passes to Anunoby. They set the screen, and the foul called on Kristaps Porzingis. That'll be a second foul of the game.
First team foul.
Pass to Beauchamp. And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
No debate there. He got hammered.
New York shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Boston trailing. Here's Brown on the drive. Pass to Walsh. Here's the 3. And Beauchamp pulls it down. And Jaylen Brown gets a whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game.
Third team foul.
New York has gone 6 for 12 from deep so far in this game. Right, the pass to Hart. Let's go with a 3. The rebound, Celtics. And he's made a case for first-team all-defense. Doris Jaylen Brown, the complete game.
Brian, what you love to see from a great player that's just entering their prime is the pride they take in being well-rounded. Do you want to absorb a big-time defensive assignment? Jaylen Brown wants to do exactly that.
And it's Towns with the power finish.
Boy, for a man his size, Towns does a sensational job running the floor.
Holiday from long range. He buries it from 3. Holiday's got 5 points.
No defender within 5 feet of him, just inviting him to shoot the 3. That's a dangerous proposition.
It's hard on the wing and stolen by Porzingis. Pass to Tatum. Oh, and it's Tatum finishing it off inside.
Well, you see the effectiveness of Jason Tatum in close. Don't sleep on both his strength and his length.
And Drew Holiday gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game.
He didn't have his feet planted.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. Towns a screen on Brown. Brown against Anunoby. Another one falls for New York.
Well, you like the decision-making from OG Anunoby right there. Picking quality shots, gets into his jump shooting motion. Well done.
Right with a steal. And another fast break opportunity for New York. The Knicks are running. Here's Towns. Pass to Beauchamp. And there's a pick to the paint. Here's Hart. And he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
Oh, what ferocity on the throwdown. I just love when he goes up with purpose.
Where was the D right there? The effort lacking big time.
Yeah, and give him credit for taking advantage in a close game. Those are the types of plays that can swing things in your direction.
And it's Tatum missing. Knicks leading by 4. And now the Knicks on the break. Here's Wright. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Boston's gone 1 of 2 shooting from the perimeter since halftime. Tatum. That one drops for him. Tatum's got 8. 1:46 left in the third quarter. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Jaylen Brown is playing with so much confidence. He said, quote, "I feel like I'm a different player. My body has changed. Athletically, I'm entering my prime. I'm more aware on defense and offense. I feel like on both sides of the ball, I'm playing the best basketball of my life."
Well, it shows, Allie, for sure. Anunoby passes to Beauchamp. Back to Anunoby. And down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
Let's remember this is 6'8" with some hops. OG Anunoby with the dunk.
Here's Walsh. And he wills that one in, sinking it right through the back of the iron. New York has got nothing to fall from outside in this third quarter. The shot by Towns, no good. Celtics trail by 4. Holiday drives in, uncovered. And Anunoby pulls it down. And so Anunoby will bring it up for the Knicks. Pass to Hart. Brown with the steal. Now the Celtics on the move. Oh, and a dunk by Brown.
We've got to get this guy in the dunk contest. Jaylen Brown taking flight with that insane athleticism.
Kicks it out to Anunoby. Towns outside. Anunoby on the wing. Just 5 to shoot. Beyond the arc. Tries yet again. And the play by Towns inside. Towns has got 6 points in the quarter.
Excellent pursuit by Towns right there. Get to work on the glass.
Porzingis sets a screen. Tatum can't hit. And here's Anunoby over Porzingis. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third. Both teams putting up some. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Pritchard and White at the 1 and the 2. Torrey Craig out there with Al Horford. And it's Hauser in at the 3 spot. That's the Boston 5. Achua finds Bridges. Achua with a screen. Fires from deep. And the basket by Bridges. Bridges has got his first 3 points of the game.
You've got to be aware and stay attached to Mikal Bridges beyond that arc. This guy dangerous as a shooter.
Knicks leading by 7. McBride with it. Now guarded by White. Outside Tucker. Back to McBride. Tucker with a screen. Now here's McBride. Defense is right there. Three-pointer, Bridges. They get it back. Outside McBride. Pass to Bridges. Screen by Robinson. Three-pointer. Bridges misses.
Boy, he won't miss many from that spot. The defense gets lucky there.
Back to Pritchard. Now here's Craig. The three. Knocks it down from distance. Craig's gotten himself on the board with a three there.
And defensively, how do you leave them that open in crunch time?
About a minute and a half into the fourth now. Outside McBride. And they waste no time getting those 3 points back. And the Knicks lead by 7.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at them.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
They set a pick. Craig passes to Hauser. The three. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. Bridges feeling it out a little bit. There's the triple. Right side McBride launches it. And Pritchard pulls it down. Celtics trail by 7. Here's White into the lane. And he comes up with a bucket.
Derek White showing you I can put it on the deck and finish off a pretty drive. Nicely done, Derek.
McBride with it. Now Horford defending. And they go to the intentional foul.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Kristaps Porzingis, he's checked in for Horford. Jason Tatum comes in for Craig. Brown, he's checked in for Hauser. And Drew Holiday is subbed in for Pritchard. So New York going with almost an entirely new group here. Towns, he's checked in for Robinson. Josh Hart comes in for Achua. OG Anunoby's checked in for Tucker. And Wright subbed in for McBride. It's a one-on-one situation. Pass to Anunoby. The three is up. On target from range. All right, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for New York.
Well, their D has been a major story tonight. I mean, those steals and putting pressure.
And they stopped the action here. They're using their coach's challenge to see if they can get this foul overturned.
First team foul. At the line for 2. Holiday. The play is under review under NBA rules.
Disputed even after the video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls. But at least we have the option to take a second look. So the officials can be sure they get it right. And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think Coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still peeved.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Tom Thibodeau coaching his team during that last break. He was clapping in the huddle, saying to his guys, loving the effort right now, keep the intensity on them. Leave no doubt in their mind that this game is ours. Guys, back to you.
All right, appreciate it, Allie.
You know, one thing you got to love about Drew Holiday is he's a true two-way player in this league. He puts in a lot of work to make a big impact on both sides of the floor.
Towns for three, and the Knicks another three.
Coming down the stretch, they've leaned on the perimeter game.
Boy, the three-point arc has been a major factor in what they've done here tonight. You love the aggressiveness.
Foul on Josh Hart. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
Oh, stolen by Anunoby.
The over and back call, always avoidable.
Right, it doesn't happen often. It's kind of a silly mistake. We'll see if they can make up for it on the defensive end.
He clipped the ball there, but not enough to nab the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Yeah, on defense, you really see Holiday's quickness and tenacity. He refuses to give the shooter any space. And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
Pass to Porzingis. Good. And Brown gets the assist.
Well, deliver the pass where your teammate can do something with it. Nice.
And so Anunoby will bring it up for New York. 1:05 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Celtics trail by 7.
Every moment counts here. They have got to get moving.
This is the very definition of desperation time. You've got to score every trip.
Bridges outside. Back to Towns. Jacks up a 3. Boston pulls it in. 40 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. White can't hit.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
Anunoby passes to Towns. From deep three-point land. From beyond the arc and then some. And the Knicks lead by 10.
Boy, this guy has been on a mission. Karl Anthony Towns will not be denied on the offensive end of the floor.
New York foul. Karl Anthony Towns. Third personal foul.
So the first one drops, and that brings him within single digits. And he makes both free throws. 15 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Anunoby passes to Towns. From deep three-point land. Missed it. And so it's New York winning this one. Exceptional effort on the road. They were ready and...
Greg, so often we talk about depth, but how important is it for these teams to possess it?
Yeah, especially with the amount of injuries we see happen every season. It's so critical that teams have players that are ready to step up and produce and really allow you to not have to change the way you play.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Handle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in the point. Now here's McDaniel. McDaniel sets a screen for DiVincenzo. Shoots a fader. A nice shot by McDaniel.
If you want the title of 3-and-D player, you've got to make threes. McDaniels has really worked on that shot.
Pass to Cornette. Outside White. The kick out to Holiday. And right away they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Great response from Holiday, marching down and knocking down the three of his own.
Near the three-point line, it's DiVincenzo. Gobert with a screen on White. Edwards passes to Gobert. Timberwolves passing it around. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Reed. It's 1 on the clock. Porzingis with the block.
That reach of Porzingis is just outrageous. I mean, I love when he uses it on defense to stifle shooters.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. There's always a surprise, isn't there, Clark, in the offseason? Let's go back to 2022. That offseason, the Timberwolves going all in on Rudy Gobert.
Basically, Kevin, they traded 5 firsts plus a bunch of good players for Gobert. It was derided at the time, and I can understand why, but Rudy's defense has taken them to another level, and he's actually been a little better offensively than people thought he would be. Well, don't let his position as a point guard fool you now. Holiday can flush it with ease.
DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. Back to DiVincenzo. Edwards with the screen. DiVincenzo finds Edwards. Fires from deep. And that's collected by Drew Holiday. For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start off the game. Tatum no good.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to visit with head coach Joe Mazzulla.
Now, we talked about the tall task of facing Anthony Edwards. Coach said he is so physical. Ant looks more like a linebacker than a wing, so we can't foul Edwards too much. That's playing right into his hands. So they'll try to play him tight without sending him to the line. Not easy to do. Back to you guys.
Okay, David, thanks.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Timberwolves trail. Pass to Edwards. Reed against Porzingis. And Reed throws it down.
A defensive breakdown there, no doubt about it. I mean, he's a guy you have to be focused on defensively.
When Naz Reed is out there, Clark, spacing the floor is a real asset for him.
For sure, and you know, he really puts a lot of pressure on the defense because he can score from anywhere on the floor, and he's got great size and strength. And he does the little things too. I mean, you look at his points and rebounds, but this guy gets deflections, he goes after loose balls, he gets you extra possessions on the glass, he steps in and takes charge. I mean, he does all the little and big things. They just look sweeter falling from the corner, don't they, those threes? McDaniels more than serviceable from deep.
A three from Porzingis. Rebound, Minnesota.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
And the shot goes in from Rudy Gobert.
From in close, it's game over when Gobert has the ball.
Right side, Porzingis fires the three. Here's Cornette. Reed with the rebound. For Minnesota, they've gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. Good shot by McDaniels, no good. White with it, now defended by Gobert. Tatum drives in. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. That is his first foul of the game.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
There's 49 seconds left here in the first quarter. Cornette passes to Holiday. 5 on the clock to the inside. Howard down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
Man, what a pass that was there. He really, really relishes making the game easier for his teammates.
Edwards finds Reed. And the foul called on Porzingis.
Side out.
That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Here is Edwards. No scoring in this one.
And you love how Tatum uses that long wingspan to really distract shooters. Great job contesting without fouling on that one.
Edwards looking it over. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there.
And he's good on the second. Holiday left side. 2 on the clock. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Timberwolves lead. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Timberwolves.
They've looked to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
They've also displayed a real unselfishness as a team, moving the basketball well, sharing the rock, and giving everybody a chance to participate in the offense.
Horford is out there with Torrey Craig. Then there's Jaylen Brown. And it's Pritchard in at the point. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics.
What a nice burst. Randall changing ends like a guard that time.
Here's Pritchard. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Whatever the defense gives, that's what he takes. A sign of a skilled offensive player.
Pass to Garza. Wide open look. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Garza's got his first bucket in this one.
You gotta love the way Conley can run an offense, both in the half court and in transition. He's excellent.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks. Jaylen Brown has put it all together. He said, I'm figuring out my spots to be aggressive. That's in my DNA, but also showing how I've grown. Being a great screener, delivering passes on time and on target. That's important to being a great teammate. I'm focused on being a better basketball player. Kevin?
Yeah, and he's a smart one too, right, David? He is something else. Outstanding stuff, DA, as always. And Clark, here's a great guy to have in the rotation, Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Loved him in college. Loved his versatility, and I thought it would translate nicely to the NBA. Took him a minute to find his rhythm, but he's got great length, which makes him versatile defensively, and he can play with just about anybody because he's got good all-around offensive skills.
Outside Conley. Buries it from three-point range. Conley's got the lead up to 7 now for Minnesota.
Nice to see Conley receive the dime for once. He's normally the one dropping dime.
Oh, that's blocked. Out of bounds. Celtics ball as Boston keeps possession. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter.
You know, the mixture of power and balance really makes Randall a threat defensively.
They double-team Conley. Here's Shannon. Here's Garza. Tries again. Here's Alexander-Walker. Buries the long-range jumper. And now it's a 10-point Minnesota lead.
And I don't care how far from the bucket he is. You've got to have a man on him. He's just too good from deep.
It's good from long range.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Randall, and he drives in. Garza, no good.
And, you know, the defense to me looked like they were okay to let him prove he could make that shot.
Pass to Hauser. Fires the three. Can't get it to fall, and he's missed the second after making his first. Here's Garza from downtown. No basket with that shot. Having trouble finding his range. He's 1 for 5. Here's Pritchard, defended by Alexander-Walker. A shot by Pritchard, no good. Timberwolves leading by 7. Pass to Conley. Here's Garza. Jaylen Brown with the rebound.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
And he's got to find other ways to contribute then because his shot making is not happening right now.
Minnesota's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark. Shooting the 3-ball well. Pass to Conley. No good that time. Poked away. Celtics trail by 7. Craig finds Horford. Here's Pritchard.
And no need to rush this. Let the clock run down.
Yeah, don't give them another possession here.
Pass to Brown. With 4 seconds on the clock. Oh, wow, man.
And Kevin, even though they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular, and he did.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it.
I agree. I mean, now's when they need a spark the most.
It'll count. And that one is off. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Timberwolves ahead. They're up by 5. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot drums. They're measuring up the shot.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. And on the floor for Chris Finch as we get into the second half. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Gobert is out there with Randall, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 1 spot. And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. As outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
Celtics trail by 4. Cornet passes to Tatum. Edwards with it. He's picked up by White. McDaniels gets a wide open look. Porzingis with the rebound.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
Here's Edwards. Tipped away. And so it's Porzingis. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. Holiday, the pass to Cornet. The kick out to Tatum. Here's the 3. Can't hit that one.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky.
Get it! Throw down there.
Whoa. A solo alley-oop? That's not something we see too often.
Timed perfectly. Caught the defense totally off guard.
Tell you what, the coach's heart was in his throat, and he was in shock and awe. But now he's got a big smile on his face.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Reed's checked in. Porzingis kicks to White. Clock at 4. Boston needs to get off a shot. Out that one in, and the Timberwolves lead is cut down to just 3 in the basket from Kristaps Porzingis. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
Kevin, the Celtics can beat you in a number of ways. Point guard Jrue Holiday said we can play small and big. We have great bench players who come in and change the game at any time and could start on other teams. And we have a hunger. Kevin, they're going to be a problem for a long time.
Agree. Yeah, they are stacked, DA, for sure. Holiday, the pass to Cornet. Outside, White. The kick out to Tatum. Celtics passing it around. Pass to Cornet. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Clark, how much weight do players put on individual awards or something like an all-star nod?
You know, I think players always have a level of respect for each other, but awards help validate your level of respect. How you win, how you perform, consistency, and awards are typically well-earned and well-deserved. As a matter of fact, in most cases, they are well-earned and deserved, and players acknowledge that and respect that.
Here's White, and White slams it in.
They wanted to let us know that he's got some bounce to his game now. White rising up with ease to send that one home.
And the shot goes in from Rudy Gobert.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Porzingis, that's a 2. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Porzingis has got 5 points now in the quarter.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Pass to Reed. Jacks up a 3. Rebound, Boston. 1:33 left in the third quarter. Holiday, the pass to Cornet. Reed finds DiVincenzo. There's the 3. Nailed from three-point land. DiVincenzo's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for Minnesota.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle against.
Here's McDaniels, and finished off by McDaniel.
Quick and mobile. McDaniels can explode to the 10.
DiVincenzo passes to Reed. Puts up a deep 3. DiVincenzo can't hit it.
Boy, they dodged one there, guys. I mean, he got the wide open look that he wanted, just didn't knock it down.
And slam dunk by Tatum.
The athletic prowess of Tatum on full display. What a move to the bucket.
DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. And stolen by White. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Latrey. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Reeves got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. For 3, Edwards gets the 3-pointer to fall. Edwards got 7 points for the quarter.
Edwards loves those long-range bombs. He's a confident shooter.
Count it. 7 seconds left in the third. Near the three-point line, it's and the buzzer beater's good.
Resourceful move there, ending the period on a high note.
Nothing like
Anthony Edwards has been leading the charge for the Timberwolves. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. Back right after this. The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. They've got Jaylen Brown. Torrey Craig is out there with Horford, and it's Hauser in at the 3. That's the Boston 5. They get it again. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. Celtics trail by 8. Picked by Horford. Brown outside. Trains the three-pointer. Brown's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Celtics. Minnesota shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Scooped up. Here's Randall. Here's Garza. Oh, good on the triple.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yanked soon. I mean, that's how bad his shot selection has been.
Rebounded. Pass to Hauser. Back to Brown. Teardrop shot. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Julius Randle picks one up.
Well, I like the fact that the energy that Brown plays with makes him a guy that does a good job getting to the line.
He doesn't get the second one.
Tough miss at this juncture. They're down 2 baskets right now.
Good.
It all started with the pass. That's what coaches love to see, ball movement.
Here's Hauser, covered by Conley, back to Horford. From outside the arc, a three-pointer is right on target. Horford's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Well, you look at Horford's jump shot, and clearly it's not conventional. A little awkward and unorthodox, but that's not an issue when it goes in like it does.
Now here's Randall. Driving inside. Conley with a wide open look. The offensive rebound. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
So Boston ends up going with a new group. And it's slammed in by Holiday.
Boy, good reaction in transition from Holiday that time. Sees the fast break forming and is right there to finish it off.
Outside, Porzingis. Back to Holiday. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. Randall finds Edwards. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Great D that time from Tatum. Cornette passes to Holiday. McDaniels against Tatum. Tatum taking it in.
And Tatum has been in these situations before. He's reliable when it comes to stepping up in big moments.
And Edwards slams it in.
At every level, Edwards has been the go-to guy for his team. It's in his DNA.
Outside Tatum. The coach's challenge has been issued. First team like this.
Hey, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double-checking, and the game continues on.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Hey, guys, I listened in on what Chris Finch was talking about with his players. He told them he liked the way they were working, but he said we have to really get after it. All we need is a couple of stops. Keep your focus. We'll see if they can close it out. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Back to DiVincenzo. And finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Look at DiVincenzo going on the attack. Knows they need some points on this possession, and he delivered.
It's stolen by Edwards. And now the Timberwolves on the break. DiVincenzo kicks to Gobert. Pass to McDaniels. Gobert with a screen for McDaniels. And a miss there on the triple. For Boston, they've gone 4-7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. White. Boston again missing.
Tough to hit that shot when the D is all over you like that.
Edwards with it. Out guarded by Porzingis. On the wing, DiVincenzo. Pass to Reed. Back to DiVincenzo. Reed with a screen on Tatum. DiVincenzo kicks to Reed. Over Tatum. Great D that time from Tatum. It's the Celtics ball. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. And so the ball's out of bounds. Reed touched it last. Outside Holiday. White setting the pick for Holiday. It falls!
What an offensive force Holiday can be when he's going like this.
So it's the Timberwolves now. Here's DiVincenzo. Mr. Gobert. Back to DiVincenzo. Trifecta!
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
Well, that was 1-2. He wanted the ball. Nobody else was taking that shot.
Porzingis with a screen on DiVincenzo. Holiday looking for an opening. To force OT. Cans it to force overtime.
Gets the big-time shot to fall, folks, and now we're heading to OT.
Cold-blooded make that was, plain and simple.
And regulation now complete. We will go to overtime. And we've got... These teams have battled tooth and nail for 4 quarters, and now we head to overtime. Should be a blast. Filling the perimeter slots, it'll be White and Tatum. Then it's Holiday, and there's Porzingis, and it's Cornette in at center. Up top, Gobert, guarded by Porzingis. Gobert with a screen on Tatum. DiVincenzo kicks to Gobert. Here's Cornette. Here he goes. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
Boy, that's a look. He has to finish, and he knows it. Lone opportunity.
Over in the corner, Edwards. Look at Edwards sliding home the three.
He's so clutch. When the pressure is at its highest, that's when he's at his very best.
Holiday, the pass to Porzingis. Outside, White. Porzingis sets the pick for White. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. White's got the game tied up here for Boston. Here's Edwards. Pass to Reed. It's extra time here, just over a minute into overtime. 6 to shoot. Here's Edwards. He takes it in, and Edwards slams it in.
On the front foot, attacking the defense. This is Anthony Edwards at his best.
Here's Porzingis. Makes it off the glass.
And I'll bet his percentage is pretty high from that range.
Timberwolves shooting 47%, pretty solid. DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. Out left to the wing. And the wide open shot from Reed. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Getting the ball to somebody ready to stroke it. Selfless play by Edwards there.
The kick out to Holiday. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Gobert with the screen on White. And finished off by Edwards.
Oh, doctor. Oh, my goodness. Anthony Edwards throwing it down with force. Get this guy in the dunk contest.
Kept alive. Goes back up. The wide open look here for Holiday. Yes! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
I tell you, boy, he comes up big at the right times. I love his demeanor, though. His disposition says all business, and I'm ready for whatever is needed.
McDaniels kicks to Edwards. Second shot opportunity. Here's Gobert.
This isn't a done deal yet, but they have got to move quick.
That's the way to go.
Out to Porzingis. High post shot. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalties.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure, it's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage.
And so they foul intentionally. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
And I don't need to tell you guys, those free throws are big two-possession games.
Tatum passes to Cornette. From past the arc. It counts! And that shot brings them to within just 1. And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul. He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. So he gets them both, and it's a 3-point game.
Absolutely massive free throw. That'll force them into a 3-point attempt.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. Pivotal moment in this game. He's not taking any chances. He'll call time. And let's get your take, guys. What's the strategy?
And if you can get a 3, shoot it. Otherwise, get the quick 2 and a foul.
Either way, they got to score the ball.
Outside Holiday. Can't get the 3 to fall. And so it's the Timberwolves who come out on top here. All right, David, thanks so much. And that about wraps it up for great.